Today we're going to be making 3 crock-pot dips that are perfect for the Super Bowl or any other game day out of the year. You don't even have to make these for a special occasion, you can make them at any time. They're all 3 delicious and pretty easy to make. First up, we're making this buffalo chicken dip. First thing I'm doing is preheating my oven to 370 degrees, and then I'm going to be baking 3 chicken breasts in my oven that I seasoned with a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Once those are done, I'm going to shred the chicken, and I definitely should have shredded this chicken a little bit thinner, but you live and you learn, so if you are shredding the chicken, make sure you shred it a little bit better than this. I went ahead and sprayed my crock pot with a little bit of nonstick spray just to be safe, and then I added my chicken in. Next, I'm adding in 1 cup of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of ranch seasoning, 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, then I'm adding 1 cup of hot sauce. I'm using Frank's Red Hot. That's what I had in the fridge, and there was about 1 cup left in the bottle. And then I have 1/3 cup of green onions. Once I have everything in the crock pot, I'm going to do my best to stir that together. It's going to be really thick, so if you don't mix it perfectly, it's okay, it'll melt together and then you can stir it again later. I added on the lid, and then this cooked on low for about 2 hours until all of the cheeses had melted. This is at the 2-hour point. I hadn't mixed it or anything yet. I took the lid off and I just mixed everything together and it was ready to go. You can leave your crock pot on the warm setting and just leave it in there for people to eat at your party or get together or whatever you're having. And then this is what it looks like on your plate. It's a really thick dip. I would definitely next time shred the chicken a little bit finer. That was my own fault, but the flavor in this was pretty good. This was my first time trying this recipe, so I will link it below for you if you're interested in any changes that I made to the recipe itself. Next up, this is one of my favorite dips to make, Cowboy Queso. I'm starting off in a skillet. I'm going to be cooking 1 pound of lean ground beef. Once my ground beef was done, I went ahead and drained the grease and then sat it to the side for right now. Over on my cutting board, I'm chopping up 1/4 of a red onion, and I actually meant to cook this with the ground beef, but I totally forgot, so we're just going to add it right on in the crock pot. Now I'm adding my ground beef into the crock pot first. And like I said, I totally forgot to cook these with the ground beef, so we're going to go ahead and just add them on in here. It'll be fine. Next, I'm adding a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. These ones are mild. 1 can of black beans that have been drained and rinsed, 16 ounces of Velveeta cubed, 1/3 cup of pepper jack cheese that's been shredded, 3/4 of a cup of beef broth, and for right now I'm adding just a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm not really measuring right now. You can always add more later if you think it needs it. Once everything is in the crock pot, do your best to get it combined, and then you're going to add the lid and let this cook for at least 2 to 3 hours until your cheese has all melted all the way through. After a couple hours, go ahead and give it a really good stir, and then you can also leave this one on a warm setting. It'll be totally fine. This is what it looked like when I served it. I just had some tortilla chips with this. You can also add cilantro in this like I did right here. I decided not to add it into the crock pot just because I know my husband hates cilantro, so you might want to leave yours on the side too unless everybody in your house likes it. Last but not least, we're making this super easy 3-ingredient chili cheese dip. Into my crock pot, I'm adding 3 cans of chili. All of them should be with beans. I had to use one without beans though because my store did not have 3. But you should be using 3 cans of chili with beans. Next, I'm adding in 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese. And then you will need 2 cups of shredded mild cheddar cheese. That is an entire bag of cheese. And then once you have that all in your crock pot, try to mix it the best you can. Now I'm just going to add my lid and let this cook for about 2 hours on low. This is what it will look like when it's all done. Everything's melted all the way through. Again, with this one, you can leave it on the warm setting. It'll be just fine. And then this is what it looked like in my bowl. I serve this one with some Doritos. We prefer Doritos with this one more than tortilla chips. And with this one, I also want to let you know the longer you let it sit, the thicker it does become. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you something to make for your Super Bowl party. And I also wanted to say thank you for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. It might not seem like much, but it was so exciting to me to see that 1,000 on the screen. So I thank each and every one of you for helping me get there. I'll see you back here on Sunday.